Welcome to the Royal Daily Tea YouTube channel. Please be advised all of my videos are for entertainment purposes only, based 100% on my own opinion, my own theories, and my own research. All of my information can be found on the public domain and falls under the fair use guidelines. Please feel free to do your own research. Good afternoon and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. So Her Majesty is taking off the gloves and the Empire is striking back. So as we know, normally the royal family does not contradict or speak on any stories that are out in the press, especially the tabloids. They have a policy, never complain, never explain. Well, now they realize that's very damaging to them and their reputation, especially in 2021 with the cancel culture. Being silent and not disputing things that are false is actually hurting their reputation. We saw firsthand how the palace finally started fighting back when they did contradict the Sussexes when they claimed that they did get permission from Her Majesty to name their daughter after the Queen's nickname, Lilibet. Well, the palace came out and denied that the Sussexes did in fact receive permission. They simply stated the Sussexes informed Her Majesty of their choice to name their daughter Lilibet Diana, but they did not in fact gain her permission. They angered the Sussexes so bad that they threatened to sue a tabloid who reported that information, but the tabloid stood their ground and they stated that this came directly from the palace and we're standing by our statement. The Sussexes have yet to file a legal claim because I think we all know by now that actuality that's probably the case, that the palace was telling the truth. So now that Harry is gearing up to write his memoir that's to be published sometime in 2022, it is rumored that the palace is starting to lawyer up and get ready for any libel statements that are going to be released. You know, they have taken a lot of serious blows and negative allegations that have been thrown at them. That's very, very damaging. When you release statements like they're racist without any real proof, it opens up a door of questions. Who is the person? What was said? Are they all racist? Do they do this? Do they do that? And what's happening is when you open up that negative door, it's never going to be shut. No matter if Harry and Meghan make up with the royal family, that allegation is always going to be out in the universe, and it's now starting to tarnish the royal family. So next year, her queen will be celebrating 70 years on the throne with her platinum jubilee. She's had a very long run and a wonderful career as queen. People love her. She is super popular. So toward the end of her reign, she just does not need this toxic negativity that her rogue grandson is airing out to the world. Well, I don't believe any of this is really tarnishing her legacy, but I do believe it is tarnishing Charles and William's legacy. It is very, very damaging. You know, after Her Majesty either steps down or passes away, a lot of the popularity with the royal family is going to go down. You know, as we've discussed in another video, Charles is not as popular as the Queen or as popular as William. So Charles and Camilla are going to have a very hard time wrangling in the popularity of the royal family. And now they have all these racist allegations and all the negativity that Harry and Meghan have been flinging on them, and losing the popularity of the Queen. So the longevity of the royal family, it's really going to be on thin ice with Charles and William. That is why Charles has been working extremely hard to do a lot of really good work, that he's done a really good job with the environment. He's also streamlining and slimming down the royal family because he knows we're going into a different time where people don't want to keep paying for these lavish lifestyles. But now they're having to fight against all of this negativity that, Harry and Meghan have been dishing out that's really tarnishing his legacy. And it's really sad and really unfortunate. So now Her Majesty is really gearing up for this memoir because can you imagine what he's going to say in this book? I mean, he's already accused them of racism. He's accused them of being responsible for his mother's death. He's accused them of being neglectful and horrible parents. I mean, can you just imagine what is left for him to divulge in these books? We know the books are going to center around, what happened behind the scenes after the death of his mother, Princess Diana, and of course, their, relationship and the affair with Charles and Camilla, so that Her Majesty knows that to save the royal family and of course to help Charles with his legacy, they really need to watch after what Harry is going to say in his memoir. This is very damaging stuff. I personally believe that Her Majesty, after her Platinum Jubilee, could abdicate the throne and give it to Charles. Well, he's going to inherit the throne, and then of course Harry's going to come out with this horrible tell-all book where he's slamming Charles and his affair with Camilla and the treatment of his mother. I mean, it's just going to be a royal nightmare. So they are definitely lawyering up. They're preparing to fight this book tooth and nail. I wouldn't be surprised if Random Penguin House received a cease and desist letter, or if they were forced to give them excerpts of the book before publication. You have to understand, they are damaging the royal family and the future King of England. This is not a small thing. And the royal family, guys, has billions of dollars and the best lawyers around. No publishing house is going to go toe-to-toe with the royal family. So if they put the pressure on them, they probably could stop this book. They really could stop this book from being published. So Harry really needs to watch it. He's not as powerful as he thinks he is. I think Harry has a lot to learn. You don't mess with Granny. The Queen is going to squash you. She has been ruling longer than you've been alive. And I know no publishing house is going to fight the royal family. They're just not. So I really think this book could be killed before it's published, or perhaps they could have certain parts of the book removed. They did do that for the documentary series. Recollections may vary. I believe they had a part of that taken out where they talked about the royal family. A part of that was removed from, Buckingham Palace made them remove it. So they can definitely have stuff removed from a book because this is very damaging stuff, especially if they're accusing it of being untrue, and if it's libel, there's no way that that publishing house is going to publish a book that's full of lies. So Harry is going to have to prove it. And again, everything in the book is according to his truth. But if you look at the Oprah Winfrey interview where everything was debunked, that publisher has got to be shaking in their boots right now, because this could be a major nightmare and a PR disaster if the royal family fights back and comes back and either kills the book or sues them for libel. It seems like the royal family is not going to sit around and be quiet and that Harry can just say whatever he wants. So the fact that he's going to donate $1.5 million of the proceeds to one of his charities, it's kind of funny how he's coming out saying that, because we don't even know if this book, one, is going to be released, and two, is it going to have $1.5 million in proceeds? He's not talking about the $20 million he's being paid to write the book. He's talking about proceeds, which is sales from the book. So a lot of people kind of gave him backlash when he made this huge announcement at one of his charity events, how he was going to give this money from the proceeds. A lot of people thought that was a little arrogant, that he thinks he's going to have this much money from the proceeds to give. And why doesn't he just donate the money right now from the money he has? It just seems like if you're getting paid $20 million to write these 4 books, but you're only going to give $1.5 million of the quote-unquote proceeds of the book to charity, that's chump change. You could just give the check right now. So a lot of people kind of found that a little weird, that he's making this big proclamation of charitable donations, but he's not really donating out of his own pocket, is he? He's donating out of proceeds from the book. He doesn't just write the check from his own checking account. So a lot of people, that kind of fell on deaf ears, and they thought that was a little shallow. Again, it's another PR cotton candy press stunt to make himself look good. But let's not forget, he is pocketing $20 million to write these trash novels. So a lot of people in the royal family, again, they're gearing up for this memoir, and they're going to start fighting back. So even if Harry and Meghan come out with another story before the book, the palace is going to start fighting against claims that are false. So it's going to be very interesting to watch that they're finally starting to step up and protect their legacy, because we all know Charles and Camilla are definitely going to receive a lot of negative press in Harry's memoir. And of course, Her Majesty with her Platinum Jubilee next year, it is going to be a very interesting year to see when Harry releases his book. Is he going to try to overshadow his granny? I really hope he doesn't. That would be an extremely bad taste. But next year is also the 25th anniversary of his mother's death. It is just going to be a blockbuster year. So all I can say is we have about 4 months left of this year. Harry and Meghan have had quite a bit of negative press to dump out there so far. Let's hope that they'll be quiet. Let's hope they'll stay home for the holidays and we won't hear from them until January of next year. It would be nice to have a little bit of a break. But as we all know, Harry and Meghan will probably have a big press story, release photos of Lilibet Diana in a magazine or something. I don't know. So we only have about 4 months left of the year. I think we've all had our fill of the Sussexes. Who knows, maybe they'll give us an early Christmas present and they'll be quiet until January. But I know next year is going to be a huge year. Lots going on with the royal family. But what are your thoughts? Do you think Her Majesty and the palace are going to shut down Harry's memoir? Do you think they're going to start fighting back every time there is an untruth published about them, especially from the Sussexes? Let me know your thoughts, guys. Leave your comments below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I do read each of your comments. I love to see what you say. If you would be so kind as to please like, share, and subscribe, because it really helps the channel. I want to do a 5K follower giveaway to show you my appreciation and my thanks. So if you could help me get to 5,000 followers, guys, we're going to do a really nice giveaway. Make sure you follow me over on TikTok and Instagram. I do daily updates over there. As always, guys, have an amazing day, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.